Hello everyone, welcome to our week-long trip to Norway. We were invited by some friends, one of which who spent some time living in Norway, so they were able to show us some hidden gems during our week-long stay. We started our trip in Damstredet, a narrow cobblestone street lined with colorful wooden houses from the early 1800s. Originally home to Oslo's craftsmen and traders, today it's one of the most charming and photographed spots. The name Damstredet means the Ladies' Hill, and walking here feels like stepping straight into old Oslo. Next, we visited Gamle Aker Church, built around 1150, making it the oldest building in Oslo. Vikings once believed silver was hidden beneath it. Surrounding the church is a quiet cemetery where some of Norway's famous writers, artists, and politicians are buried, offering a peaceful window into the city's past. Amongst those buried here are Peter Christian Asbjornsen, who helped preserve Norway's folk tales, and Christian Krogh, a celebrated painter and writer. When in Oslo, you have to visit Vigeland Park, the world's largest sculpture park created by a single artist. Gustav Vigeland designed more than 200 sculptures here, all exploring timeless themes like life, family, and human connection. Many of the sculptures are nude, representing people in their most natural form, without the distractions of time or fashion. At the center of the park is the monolith, a 46-foot-tall column carved from a single block of granite. It features 121 human figures, all intertwined, reaching upwards, symbolizing the struggles and hopes of life. It took 14 stone carvers over 14 years to bring the Vigeland vision to life. And the name monolith simply means one stone, which feels very fitting. After visiting Vigeland Park, we explored Brønnøya, or Well Island, a peaceful getaway in the Oslo Fjord. In summer, you reach it by a floating pedestrian bridge, and once you're there, it's all about walking, biking, and soaking up the quiet beauty. With no cars allowed, Brønnøya feels like a true escape just outside the city. We ended the day south of Oslo in the town of Drammen. It's worth the quick road trip just to experience the Spiralen, a unique spiral tunnel carved into the mountain in the 1960s. At the top, Spiraltoppen offers sweeping views over the city and the Drammen Silver River, a perfect spot to pause and take it all in. The next day, we spent some time exploring the hustle and bustle of downtown Oslo. From the roof of the Oslo Opera House, we got sweeping views over the Oslo Fjord and the city's modern skyline. The building itself is designed to look like an iceberg and is one of the few opera houses in the world you're encouraged to climb. Just a short walk away, we explored Akershus Fortress. At Akershus Fortress, history stretches back over 700 years. Originally built to defend Oslo from invaders, it later became a royal palace, a military base, and even a prison during World War II. Walking through the stone halls and courtyards today, you can feel the layers of Norway's past all around you. Some even say that Akershus is haunted, with sightings of a mysterious robed figure roaming the halls. we have the history bug, we visited the Norwegian Folk Museum, an open-air museum that brings centuries of Norwegian history to life. The museum has over 150 historic buildings from all over the country, showing everything from rural farmhouses to the city life in Old Oslo. Walking through the grounds feels like stepping back through time, with traditional homes, old shops, and even folk costumes on display. One of the highlights is the Stave Church, a beautifully preserved medieval church originally built around 1200. Saved from demolition in the 1800s, it's a stunning example of how Viking traditions and early Christianity blended together in Norway's unique wooden architecture. After a short flight from Oslo to Stavanger, we set out for Preikestolen, one of Norway's most famous hikes. Also known as Pulpit Rock, this massive cliff rises over 600 meters, nearly 2,000 feet, straight above the Lysefjord. Formed by glaciers over 10,000 years ago, the plateau today is a magnet for hikers, dreamers, and adventurers from all over the world. The trail winds through forests, rocky slopes, and open granite plateaus. But the view waiting at the top, I'll let it speak for itself. We spent a peaceful night by the fjord in Ekebergparken, the main village on Finnøy, in an awesome Airbnb. The next morning, our Airbnb host let us take his motorboat out on the fjord. We were killing some time before we caught the ferry on one of the most epic, I'd say road trip, but we spent just as much time on ferries on our way to Bergen. After passing what seemed like countless fjords and waterfalls, we took a quick break in the town of Odda. You might recognize it from the Netflix series Ragnarok. With a little bit more driving, we hopped on another ferry, and before we got to Bergen, we stopped at one last waterfall, which happened to be my favorite view along this day's trip. We woke up to a rainy morning in Bergen, but honestly, we've been lucky with the weather so far, so we took it on the chin. And you'd think by now we'd be sick of boats, fjords, and waterfalls, but nope. First thing in the morning, we booked another fjord cruise. The nice thing about Norway, you never have to wait long for the weather to change. The clouds lifted just enough to give us those moody, iconic Norwegian fjord views, the kind you hope for when you picture this place. We stopped for lunch at Bergen's famous fish market, or Fisketorget, a seafood hub since the 1200s. I expected cod and salmon, but I didn't expect to see whale on the menu, and I didn't try it. Bergen was found back in the 11th century and even served as Norway's capital during the Middle Ages. Today, it's the country's second largest city, but it still feels small and coastal. Known for its rain, with over 230 wet days a year, the weather adds to the mood. When the cobblestones shine and the clouds hang low, Bergen looks like a postcard come to life. To end the day, we took the Fløibanen to the top of Mount Fløyen, just in time for an epic sunset. See what I mean about a postcard coming to life? We ended our trip right where it began, back in Oslo. I didn't film much that day, but honestly, we were too busy soaking it all in. We did explore Ekebergparken, and we stumbled upon a Viking burial site near our hotel. That's pretty cool. Huge thanks to our friends for showing us around and making the whole trip unforgettable. And yeah, I vow to return. If you like this video, you know what to do. Hit that like button. Comment down below if Norway's on your must-see list. And while you're down there, hit that subscribe button. Have a great rest of your day.